I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about what a typical week for me would have looked like while I was over there this summer volunteering with them. Starting off on a Monday morning, we would spend our days in a baby's home. Now, baby's homes are like an orphanage, except just for kids from birth to about 3 years old before they go off to an orphanage for older kids. There's two main babies homes that we're involved with. These two children are from Standing Babies Home, and the other one we volunteered with was in Zambia Babies Home. When we get there, we would help them with their different chores. They had to do like cooking and cleaning and just doing the laundry, taking care of the kids, and then we'd get to spend the last few hours just playing with the kids and hanging out with them. I absolutely loved going to Babies Home. It was really, really fun. But at the same time, it was really hard just hearing the stories. Like one of my favorite kids from Zambia Babies Home, he was found abandoned on the side of the road inside a plastic shopping bag. And so because of that, he has brain damage and multiple other issues. So it's just really hard hearing about the stories and of these kids, how they ended up there. But at the same time, I loved it. And if I would be old enough, I should be 25, I probably would have come home with multiple children. That's probably a good thing that I'm not sure. Zambia Babies Home was very, very well run. Had a lot of volunteers, everything was very well organized, things were very clean and neat and tidy, and you could just tell that the kids were very well taken care of. The other babies home we went to in Zambia, these are kids from Zambia, was a little bit different. They had very, very few volunteers, and so the couple ladies that they had taking care of all these kids were stretched very thin, and so trying to take care of all these kids and do all the cleaning and all the cooking and everything just got very overwhelming, and so you could just tell because the kids were kind of crazy, running around everywhere. All the toys were either broken or just absolutely filthy. They didn't have enough money for diapers, and so none of the kids wore diapers. So anytime they went to the bathroom, it would just be all over them and usually all over you, which was pleasant. But to be honest, this in Zambia Babies Home was my favorite. I don't know why, there's just something about these kids at this home that just captured my heart. So that was a little bit about Zambia. So that was what a Monday morning would look like. On Monday afternoons, we would usually go back to the house and have planning meetings and schedule the rest of the week what we were doing for programs, who's engaged in cooking and cleaning back at the house, and who was going to like lead worship and the different schools and everything that we go to for the rest of the week. So that was on Monday afternoon. And usually late afternoon we do a sports outreach ministry. We go to high school and just play basketball or football, aka soccer, volleyball, or whatever else with the kids. Or if you didn't like sports, you just hang out and talk to them, get to know them. So that's usually what we did most afternoons of the week. On Tuesday mornings, we'd usually go to a primary school, which is an elementary school, and we'd get there, and it's one of my favorite things. You pull up in your van, and the kids, well, the schools there are very different than America, not nearly as structured or at all. And so you pull up in the van, and they see you coming, and they get so excited, they just stand up, get out of class, and run out to meet you. Like they mob the car, and you get there, and they're all like jumping up and down, screaming, and in Uganda, the word for white person is Mzungu, and that's what our name was the entire time we were there. So you pull up, and about 50 kids come running and jumping like, Mzungu, Mzungu. It was just really fun just to see how excited they were just to see us. So we'd get there and we'd usually play a few games with them and sing some songs that were all in Uganda, so I really had no idea what I was saying, but that's okay. And then we'd read them a Bible story or give some type of short message, and then play with them a little bit, and then we'd head out. So that was usually what we do on Tuesday mornings. On Tuesday afternoons, we would go to secondary school, so like high school, and we would do something similar, except we usually, if we played games, they're obviously a little bit more mature games, not like Duck Duck Goose or that kind of thing. We'd sing some songs with them, and then we'd usually go a message a little more in depth than what it was in the elementary school. And then we'd stay afterwards, talk to them if they had any questions, just kind of be a mentor towards them. And that was just something that was really, really encouraging encouraging to see when these high schoolers had such strong faith. Like, I can only wish that my faith had been that strong when I was in high school. And it was just really encouraging to see that these teenagers who are so young have such strong faith. So yeah, that was usually a typical Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday morning, probably my favorite morning of the week, we went to Katalama, which was a hospital/rehabilitation center for kids. And kids all over from Eastern Africa, not just Uganda, would come to this hospital rehabilitation center for treatment and therapy. And it was a really neat facility because they did everything there themselves. They had all the doctors and nurses and care provided. But they would also have like a shop where they made all of their own crutches, all of their own wheelchairs, all of their own casts, like everything. So they're completely self-sufficient. So it was really neat to see. And the kids there were just so much fun. Even though, you know, a lot of them had casts in both their legs or what else, they were just so happy and so joyful and always there to see us. And we usually give them a similar program to what we would do in elementary school, and then also we would spend time with some of the mothers, talking with them, getting to know their stories, doing some evangelizing with them, because not all of them were Christians. There's a lot of Muslims also, so just giving a chance to talk to them and spend time with them. So that was Wednesday morning. Wednesday afternoons we again go to a secondary school, usually a different one, but the same type of program, so I told you about that. And then Thursday mornings we again would go back to the babies' homes like we did on Monday and do the same thing at the babies' homes. In the afternoons we went to a place called Remand Home. The Remand Home is basically a juvenile delinquent facility. In Uganda, their justice system is a little bit different than ours. In Uganda, you're guilty until proven innocent. So there are a lot of kids there who are in this detention center who never committed any crime. All someone has to do is accuse them of something and they're put away into a detention center. And unless you have money to hire a lawyer and hire someone to get you out, you have no way of getting out. So a lot of these kids have been there for months and months and months and they never did anything wrong. And so that was just really, really hard, just talking to them and hearing some of their stories and how, like, while they're in there, their life just has to stop. And they didn't do anything. They were just falsely accused and now they're suffering the consequences. To be honest, I was really terrified the first time I went there because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I was going to be meeting up with some hardcore criminals or whatnot, so I was a little nervous. But it turned out to be one of my favorite places that we went. The kids there were so enthusiastic. We'd sing worship songs. They were like jumping around and screaming and yelling and just so passionate about life, even though their life wasn't what it was supposed to be. It wasn't what it was meant to be, but yet they still were able to find a joy and find a passion in the midst of it. So that was a Thursday. And then Fridays, we would usually do some type of mission outreach. We usually go to either out into the villages or into the slums and just do either door-to-door evangelism or talking with kids that are sponsored through Empower Child, just checking up on them, seeing how they're doing and everything's going with that. Door-to-door evangelism the first time I did it, and the next couple times I did it, was absolutely terrifying to me. Because it's not really something that you do here in America. You don't really just like knock on somebody's door and say, hey, do you know Jesus? Like, it's just, you just don't do that. And so I had no idea what to do or what to say. And so it was really, really intimidating, but I'm definitely, looking back on this years, I'm definitely glad that I did it. I'm glad that I had a chance to see what it's like. It was definitely a learning and growing experience because I was way out of my comfort zone. But it was a good experience, nonetheless. On Saturdays, it was usually a free day, so we do usually whatever we wanted to, like go to the movies or go to the mall. Yes, Uganda has a movie theater at the mall. One, but it's there. Or, you know, you do something a little bit more adventurous, like the one day, granted I didn't tell this to my mom until after I did it, but the one day I went